This is Jesse Owens. In the 1936 Olympics in Berlin, Jesse Owens was the star. He won 4 gold medals. His name was not Jesse, it was James Cleveland Owens. JC is what his family called him. When they moved from Alabama to Cleveland when Jesse was in elementary school, his teacher asked his name. He said JC Owens, and she thought he said Jesse. She wrote it that way in her book, and he's been Jesse Owens ever since. Now this is Adolf Hitler. Hitler, of course, was the Chancellor of Germany during the time of the 1936 Olympics. Because there was blatant discrimination in the United States at that time, the black athletes had no reason to dislike Hitler or the politics of Germany. There's a long-standing myth that Hitler snubbed Jesse Owens, and this was dispelled by Jesse himself at that time. The famous day of the snub was August 2nd, the day before Jesse Owens' first gold medal. The first winner on that day was a German shot putter. He was invited to Hitler's box to be congratulated. The second winner, also a German, was the javelin thrower, and she was also invited to Hitler's box to be congratulated. The third winners were 3 Finns who were first, second, and third in the 10,000 meters. They were all invited. The high jump competition that day lasted until well after dark. There was a jump off between second and third place. The winner, Cornelius Johnson, a black American, jumped 6'8", but he wasn't announced as a winner until well after dark. And of course, by that time, Hitler had left the stadium. Well, the New York Times had a headline that said, "Hitler ignores Negro medalist." Later, when Jesse Owens became the star of the games, the newspapers changed that to Owens. The president of the International Olympic Committee, Count Henry de Bellay-Latour, came up to Hitler and said, "From now on, you will either congratulate all gold medal winners or none." And Hitler chose none. So there was no way in the world that Jesse Owens could ever have been congratulated or invited to Hitler's box, as the story has often been repeated. Jesse Owens was very popular at that time. Anytime he would step on the track, the crowd would chant, "Jesse Owens, Jesse Owens." And Hitler paid him a tribute. He stood and waved. And this is what Jesse said after the games. "When I passed the Chancellor, he arose, waved his hand at me, and I waved back to him. I think the writers showed bad taste in criticizing the man of the hour in Germany." And there was another Jesse Owens quote. He said, "Hitler didn't shake hands with me, but neither did President Roosevelt." You see, this was 3 months before the presidential election, and President Roosevelt was worried that if he invited Negroes to the White House, that he would lose the Southern vote.